Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Afrinish Amanat and today we will discuss some tumors of the central nervous system. They make up large proportion of the childhood cancers, account for 20% of all pediatric tumors. Childhood CNS tumors differ from those in adults. In childhood, tumors are likely to arise in the posterior fossa, whereas in adults they are mostly supratentorial. There are certain characteristics of CNS tumors which differ from the tumors in other body parts. They do not have a premalignant or in situ stage comparable to those of carcinomas. Even the low-grade lesions may infiltrate large regions of the brain and can lead to serious clinical deficits, inability to be dissected, and poor prognosis. The anatomic site of neoplasm can influence the outcome due to local effects. Even a meningioma can compress the medulla and lead to cardiorespiratory arrest. And even the most highly malignant gliomas rarely spread outside the CNS. Classification of the CNS tumors is done into primary tumors and secondary tumors. Tumors of the meninges are called meningioma, of the glial cells are called glioma, and these include astrocytoma, oligodendroglioma, and ependymoma. Of the nerve sheath are called schwannoma and neurofibroma. Of embryonal origin are called medulloblastoma, neuroblastoma, and teratoma. Of the blood vessels are called angioma, angiosarcoma. Secondary tumors include mets from multiple tissue sites. Gliomas are tumors of the brain parenchyma and they are classified because they resemble the glial cells. The diffuse gliomas constitute a majority of the adult tumors and these include diffuse astrocytoma and oligodendroglioma. Diffuse astrocytoma. It accounts for 80% of adult gliomas. Arises in the 4th through 6th decades of life and they are mostly found in the cerebral hemispheres. The person mostly presents with seizures, headaches, or focal neurological deficits. Based on histology, they are classified into 3 groups: diffuse astrocytoma grade 2, anaplastic grade 3, and glioblastoma grade 4. In CNS tumors, grading is more important than putting the tumor into benign and malignant category. As the grade of the tumor increases, the cellularity of the neoplasm, the pleomorphic features, etc., the mitotic figures, they gradually increase and the prognosis becomes more grave. Diffuse astrocytoma may remain static for several years and when it progresses, the patient presents with rapid clinical deterioration. Grade 2 and 3 astrocytomas are poorly defined gray infiltrative tumors that expand and distort the invaded brain without forming a discrete mass. Infiltration beyond the grossly evident margins is always present. The cut surface is either soft gelatinous or cystic degeneration may be seen. This is the histological picture and you can see the tumor is hypercellular. The cells have fibrillary cytoplasm. Here you can see the background is fibrillary and here microcysts are present. The nuclei are dark, angulated and irregularly shaped. However, there are no prominent nuclei. On occasional naked nuclei, microcysts and gymnostocytes can also be appreciated. And however, necrosis and microvascular proliferation is absent. This is diffuse astrocytoma grade 2. Grade 2 astrocytoma is seen as expanded white matter of the left cerebral hemisphere and thickened corpus callosum. B, this is the appearance of glioblastoma and here you can see the solid component and here the area shows cystic degeneration. And this is a histological picture of glioblastoma and this feature is called palisading of the tumor cells. In glioblastoma, there is variation in the gross appearance from region to region. Some regions may be soft yellow and others may be cystic and hemorrhagic. Microscopically, low-grade WHO grade 2 astrocytomas are characterized by mild to moderate increase in the number of glial cell nuclei, variable nuclear pleomorphism, and GFAP positive fibrillary background. The transition between the neoplastic and normal tissue is indistinct, and the tumor cells can be seen infiltrating the normal tissue. Anaplastic astrocytoma, as the name indicates, it has a higher grade. We graded it into 3. It is more densely cellular, greater nuclear pleomorphism, and mitotic figures are also present. Glioblastoma has all the features of anaplastic astrocytoma, and in addition it has either necrosis or microvascular proliferation present. There is characteristic necrosis seen in glioblastoma multiforme, and there is serpiginous bands of necrosis with palisaded tumor cells along the border. This is the histological picture of anaplastic astrocytoma. As you can appreciate, the cellularity is greater than that seen in the grade 2, and greater nuclear pleomorphism and hypochromasia, and you can appreciate mitotic figure 2. This is the histology of glioblastoma. It is even more cellular than the anaplastic one, and necrosis is seen in serpentine pattern, and this is called pseudopalisading. When vascular cell proliferation is extreme, the tuft forms a ball-like structure which is called glomerulide body. Next we will discuss oligodendroglioma. It accounts for 5 to 15% of the gliomas detected in 4th through 5th decades of life, and the patient may complain of neurological complaints several years ago, and can often present with the seizures. The lesions are mostly found in the cerebral hemispheres, mostly in the frontal or temporal lobes. And grade 2 has better prognosis as compared to the grade 3. Well differentiated oligodendroglioma graded as 2 are infiltrated tumors that form gelatinous gray masses and may show cyst, hemorrhage, and calcification. On microscopy, you will see sheets of regular cells with spherical nuclei containing finely granular chromatin, and it is surrounded by a clear halo of cytoplasm. This appearance is called fried egg appearance. You can appreciate the tumor cells are round and the nucleus is surrounded by a clear halo, and there is fine vasculature present. The tumors contain delicate network of anastomosing capillaries, calcification can be seen, and mitotic activity is low. Small centrally located nuclei are seen surrounded by clear cytoplasm, fried egg appearance, and chicken wire vasculature. Anaplastic oligodendroglioma, grade 3, more aggressive. It reveals more cellularity, nuclear anaplasia, greater mitotic activity, and microvascular proliferation. Now coming to the genetics. The genetics is important in CNS tumors. Mutation in IDH, isocitrate dehydrogenase genes, is seen in the grade 2 astrocytoma and oligodendroglioma. It may occur in IDH1 or IDH2, and this leads to increased production of 2-hydroxyglutarate, which interferes with the activity of other enzymes. This is a scheme to identify the tumors of the CNS. Mutation in promoter for telomerase is seen in glioblastoma and other astrocytic tumors. Co-deletion of 1p and 19q chromosomal segments is present in oligodendrogliomas. The gliomas, they are tested for IDH1 and 2 and p53. If it is mutated, then deletion of 1p and 19q is checked. If it is negative, then these three should be considered. If positive, then oligodendroglioma and oligoastrocytoma should be considered. If this IDH1 and 2 p53 are not mutated, they are classified into wild type, and then again checked for deletion of 1p and 19q. If negative, then primary glioblastoma. Midline glioma. Midline gliomas arise in the brainstem, specifically in the pons, and also occur in the spinal cord and thalamus. They are infiltrative, result in neurologic impairment because of the disruption of nearby structures. They behave aggressively, although they may not show typical high-grade features. And these lesions have acquired point mutation in histone 3, H3. Diffuse midline glioma, also known as diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, centered in the pons, expanded with effacement of the surrounding CSF spaces, and usually do not enhance, and H3K27 mutant. Pilocytic astrocytoma. Pilocytic astrocytomas are relatively benign tumors that typically affect children and young adults. They are located in cerebellum but may involve the other brain regions, third ventricle, optic pathways, spinal cord, and cerebral hemispheres. There is often a cyst associated with the tumor. Their genetics is different than that of the diffuse astrocytoma and oligodendroglioma. It shows activating mutation or translocation of BRAF. And pilocytic astrocytomas do not have mutation in IDH1 and IDH2. Often, the gross appearance is of a cyst with a more mural nodule in the wall of the cyst. If solid, it is well circumscribed. Please remember, it has bipolar cells with long, thin, hair-like processes that are GFAP positive. Rosenthal fibers and eosinophilic granular bodies are the characteristic features. Microcysts are often present, while necrosis and mitosis are rare. This is the histological picture of pilocytic astrocytoma. It has bipolar cells, densely fibrillar cells with long, thin processes, biphasic pattern, cystic component, solid dense component, Rosenthal fibers, and eosinophilic granular bodies are seen. This is the appearance of the Rosenthal fiber, and I've already told you about its composition in the last lecture. Eosinophilic granular bodies and microcysts are present. Thank you, class.